Intellectual iHeartRadio, and we are now about to establish phenomenal workshop. Now, we have a lot of business owners. So if you are a business owner, I need you to be in attendance. Hopefully, you've gotten some paper, some pen. Take your phone out, take some notes. If you are at the bar, and this is out of respect for everyone, I want to make sure that we magnify this young lady's time. So if you're going to be at the bar having a conversation that has nothing to do with the workshop, we please respectfully, is there any way you can go in the corner? Because I want everyone to listen to this young lady. I want the information that she has is very valuable. She is coming from a multi-trillion-dollar institution, so the information that she's given is very valuable. So again, if you're gonna be at the bar, please, you're either gonna be listening or you're gonna go in the corner. So please, could everyone please make sure if you're at the bar, you're listening. So that could everyone say hello? Hello? Raymond, say hello. Okay, so listen, that's my business partner, so I know y'all doing business. So I want y'all to continue that conversation. I really do. But if y'all not gonna listen to her, could y'all have it over there? There you go. Because she's from BMO, and this is the thing. Irregardless, this is what you got to understand as a business owner. I learned this a long time ago. You never know where your next blessing is coming from. So as a business owner, you have to be mindful of information. This young lady has the information based upon what she's looking for as BMO. We have about 70 women. We probably got about 40 business owners here, and all of them Black. Okay. Right? And the one thing that we talk about in business is what? Funding. So everyone raise your hand if you're a business owner. So that means everybody should be listening to this young lady in reference to funding. Now, you may not agree with the information, right? But she has the information. So learn from what the big dogs are looking for. No, seriously, this is our problem as minorities. We love to talk about what we don't have in our community, right? So this is something. Take your phones out, go live, because I want this part of this. I want this part to go viral because most of the big wigs won't come to platforms like this and share this information. So again, I forgot your name again. What's Gina? So I want to introduce Gina from BMO. She's going to talk about business credit, business funding, what that looks like for her institution. So please give it up, give it up, give it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Gina Earl. I am the VP at BMO in the South Loop Market. I have an extensive background in banking. I started when I was 10, so I've been in banking for just 22 years. Just a little background about me. Yes, I'm at BMO. I've been with BMO for 6 months. But prior to that assignment, I was managing a business banking department at a credit union. And I helped their entire retail program get off the ground while specifically working with the top 10% business owners in the country. Typically at my previous spot, I want to say my sweet spot was people worth about 1.2 million and up. But my sweet spot as far as what warms my heart is working with the business owners that have just formed and have been courageous enough to say, I want to be able to get it and I just need some support. So that's why I'm here. A little background about me. In addition to that, my father has his doctorate degree in business entrepreneurship. So he teaches at the collegiate level. A lot of my business owners are in my family. So I'm always working with business owners. The reason why I wanted to get into small business is because I grew up in Naperville. I was one of the only African-American families growing up in Naperville in the 80s. And with that being said, my father was a business owner. And my father struggled. So imagine being Black in the 80s in Naperville, where everyone's having all this money and your dad's possibly struggling. One thing that I found is that there was one bank that believed in my dad, which believed in our family, which allowed me to live in Naperville and have a good life.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. My passion is meeting business owners where they are. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you just started. I don't care if you're at the top. I don't care if you're about to retire. There's always opportunity. And my goal is to be able to align with you, find out what your goals are, what's keeping you up at night, we get rid of those barriers and we move forward. Okay. So what I would like to do today, number one, is talk about building business credit. I love the fact that we have a lot of business owners in here. So hopefully the steps that I'm going to be giving you today should take about 60 days worth of action steps. If you guys can do these things, hopefully some of you have already done these things. That would be a beautiful way for you to build your business credit profile. Can anyone tell me here what your business credit is called?
FICO, right?
I'm sorry?
Is it FICO?
No, FICO is good call. FICO is your personal credit.
Oh, okay.
When you have a business credit score, it's called your Paydex score. Okay, so I'm going to show you today in the next.
Did everyone write that down? Because if you don't know that,
Paydex, and you want to write that name down because that name will help you thinking about how the Paydex algorithm moves. I have studied the Paydex algorithm for 10 years. I do that in my downtime with a glass of wine. I love doing it because I like to be able to understand all the ins and outs so you can maximize your score and be able to retain that score, because where your income ends, your business credit will take you. So business credit is essential in order for you to grow and expand your business. So first things first, I call it having the pillars. Now, one thing about me, I'm very, very specific about my steps. I will tell you that in these steps, you have to go in order. So you can't jump around. Why? What happens if you jump around? Well, you'll lose starter points with your Paydex score. And you want to be able to gain all points and not just gain some of the points that are allocated in certain areas. So first things first, do you have your pillars up? Gina, what are pillars? There are 4 pillars to the business, and that is the foundation to the business. The business credit bureaus want to know in these pillars, are you here for a short while or a long while? Are you someone that is, if we give you some funding a year from now, we look at you and you're gone? Or are you here for the long haul? That's what the pillars will be able to demonstrate bureaus. Pillar number 1 is, does your business phone number, is it separate from the business owner's cell phone number? Okay. And if it is, that's great. Part 2 to that is that you're registered with 401 directory or Google search? Meaning if I Google you, will I find you? Okay. So that's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is, does the business have a business email domain? And unfortunately, a lot of people will shake their heads and say yes. And I'll say, okay, tell me what it is. If you tell me your business email ends with a Yahoo or a Gmail, that is not a business email domain. So if I was running a lash business and maybe my business was called Divas Lashes, then my business email domain would be info@GinasDivasLashes.com or DivasLashes.com. You need to have a .com email. Now, I hate to be harsh, but I'll be very candid with you. If I was working with any owners and you're coming to me for funding and you email is going to be optional, so you have to ask yourself, what are business owners in this industry doing? Are they doing it? If they are, then I need to be doing it. Does my business have a business website? Not every industry needs to have one, but if competitors in your industry do, I would advise you to have one. Pillar number 4 is going to sound archaic, but it's not. So please make sure that you understand it's still very important. Does your business have a business fax? Say, I understand that, but fax in the business world is stable. And it could do is you could do an e-fax where your phone number and your fax number are the same. And if you get a fax, it comes via email. Okay, so those are the 4 pillars. You want to get those 4 pillars done, and then we can move to the next step. The next step would be getting some things in place when it comes to administration, being able to have access. Do you have access, and have you created an account called nav.com, NAV as in Victor.com? nav.com will do 2 things. Number 1, you need to monitor nav.com at least monthly to make sure that no businesses are reporting or the consumers are reporting any adverse information about your business. That will be able to be reflected on nav.com where you can deal with that. But if it happens after the fact, it's very difficult to get that removed. Also, nav.com will give you access to, and I hate to say it like this, but sometimes it's important, especially for the startup businesses, hard money lenders. They'll give you access to that in nav.com. After that, now it's time to create and give birth to your business credit. So you want to go to, there are 3 business bureaus that are different from the personal bureaus. So in personal, we know there's Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. In the business world, it's Experian Business, Equifax Business, and then Dun & Bradstreet, aka Dunn's, aka D&B. Now they are the major player. Now, one huge misconception a lot of business owners do is they're all familiar with the D&B. I mean, I heard you mouth it, right? Everyone's familiar with Dun & Bradstreet. But what about the other 2 bureaus? A lot of you business owners don't understand that you can't pick and choose what business bureaus lenders use. So if you're just focused on Dun & Bradstreet and then you come to me for a business loan and I say, I pull Experian Business and you haven't done anything, well, then what's going to happen there? You won't be able to take advantage of a great opportunity. So what I'm saying to you is that you want to grow all 3 business bureaus at the same time. So they are simultaneously building up. So it doesn't matter which bureau that lender uses, they're all developed, okay? Equifax Business, Experian Business, Dun & Bradstreet. All you have to do is create an account with Experian Business, create an account with Dun & Bradstreet. You cannot create an account with Equifax Business. Well, then, Gina, what am I going to do? You have to open a bank account. Because Equifax Business is the only bureau that will extract your business information from your bank. And they specifically will be reporting the average last 6-month balances on your deposit history. That's why it's so very important that business owners put your proceeds in your bank account so you can be able to show your income. You can show that you're getting paid for your services. Okay. So now we've given birth to your business credit. We have Experian Business, Equifax Business, and Dun & Bradstreet. Now we're ready to play. First things first, we need to start developing trade lines. Now, anyone here has heard of a net account, net 30? Perfect. You want to get 5. Well, Gina, 3 is 3 okay? Nope, 3 is not sufficient. You need 5. 5 trade lines. Now I can tell you, Uline is a good one, although they're changing a little bit. Quill is a good one. Quill is a good one. They're changing a little bit, but they're all good ones. In fact, they will report your payments to one of the 3 bureaus. So what you want to do, so for instance, my son's father owns a Harold's Chicken in Wicker Park. And what he does is he'll go to Restaurant Depot and he'll buy the white bread, the napkins, anything that doesn't say the chicken came, right? And he'll say, hey, listen, instead of me paying for this right now, bill me and record my payment history on my net account. You want to get 5, okay? And you're doing that. The one thing that you want to focus on is how to move the algorithm. In the business credit world, unfortunately, you don't get a whole lot of credit for paying on time. We expect you at this level to understand that that's what needs to happen. So you don't get a whole lot of kudos like you do on the personal side. You get 30% credit for paying on time in the personal world, not in the business side. But I'm going to put you in on a little secret. Again, I studied the algorithm. And if you ever forget, just remember the name, Paydex. So the Paydex algorithm says, if you want your business credit, instead of going like this with a little curvature, if you wanted to have a vertical curvature, then when you get your net accounts, let's just say, for instance, the payments are due on the 25th. Don't wait until the 25th to pay. You want to pay early, because what's happening is that you're going to take proration of the payment received, that date versus due date. And then that proration is going to give you that bump in your monthly payment for all of your net accounts. So if you're just being slow and paying on that due date, You're not going to see exactly. You're going to see it kind of being level, a little toe, a little upside. You want to see a a dent in your paydex score. Pay as soon as you get money. Don't wait. Okay, and then celebrate those successes. Maybe one month your due date's on the 25th. You're paying on the 20th. That's the best you can do. I'm good. I'm good with that. Be consistent. Then, if you can pride yourself, the next month you're paying on the 15th. Then you're paying on the 10th. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see a bump in your paydex score. Now, let's talk about what a paydex score is and what that looks like. So, you almost want to omit the third digit from your personal score. Okay. So, when you get into your paydex score, you're going to start with a failed rating, like a 68, maybe even something lower. You want to internalize that, maybe even a 64. That's almost like a 640 credit score. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Then as you get into a 72, 72, now we're almost in the 720s. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you want to keep going all the way up until you can get to an 86. Okay. When it comes to your goal as far as managing business credit. Now, let's just kind of talk about, what banks are doing right now. Banks are industry specific. There's certain industries that we um, are seeking out, and there are certain industries that we all want to help, but maybe we're just saying, proceed with caution, right? And then there's some industries that we won't touch. Unfortunately, trucking, we won't touch you right now. It's kind of like a bank thing, and hopefully, you know, the thing is that trucking companies make a lot of money, but unfortunately, the banks are feeling like there are more truckers on the road than work. Okay, and so that's why we kind of pulled away our relationship with truckers. But there are alternative funding options. So I still bank truckers. I'm able to be in line with their goals. We make money together. It's just we have an alternative way of moving forward. One thing about me is I pride myself on having that initial conversation with you, finding out what are your goals and how can I jump in. I was just talking to one of those. If you could wave a magic wand, what does that look like? Well, those are my goals. That's what I get paid to do. And my business owners really seem to appreciate having a consultant banker as opposed to just a bank that you go to, make a deposit and a withdrawal and talk to a teller every now and again. That is where I pride myself. And for me to be able to take a business owner and help them get their first vehicle and now or second location. I just gave a woman $50,000. I was talking to her for her second location for her juice bar in the South Loop.
Yes.
And to ride by there and say, I did that warms my heart.
Yes.
On the consumer side, I pride myself with helping people get into home ownership. I'll never forget a young lady told me in tears one day that she couldn't ever think about being a homeowner. And I tell you, within 9 months, I gave her keys to her home.
What?
All I have to do is find out what you think that you can't do, and we're going to do it together. So as a banker, I'm more than just a banker. I'm like your financial confidant, if you will. I'm someone that will take a problem head on, and we don't stop until we figure it out. So when it comes to being a business owner, I love working with all of you. I don't care what industry it is. Just be mindful that if you're looking for funding, we're looking for you to be in business for 2 years. If you haven't been in business for 2 years, okay, maybe we can't do traditional funding, but we can look at other options. Okay, so you're not dead in the water. I have access to grants. I was just talking to a gentleman to possibly help my business owners. So I'm in a situation where I want to be able to just support. Okay. And if I can add value to your business and being your banker at the same time, then my job is done. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're not done yet. You're not done yet. You're not done yet. So if they wanted to reach you, if they want to get a hold of you, what information here live, because we are live on Intellectual Radio. So could you please leave your business information?
Sure. I'm in the South Loop. I'm at 13th and Wabash. And my direct line is 312 322 I'm sorry, 312-322-7207. And my first name is Gina, and it's spelled with an E. So it's Gena. And my email address is my first name, Gina.Earl, EARL, like the Duke of Earl, at bmo.com.
Could you repeat that one more time?
Sure. Gena.EARL at bmo.com. So right now, BMO is specifically interested in supporting women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, Native American, and Latin, along with the LB.
LGBTQ.
Thank you, community.
ABCD.
We just added that 2 weeks ago. So
Yes.
if you are a business owner in that capacity, I'd love to be able to support you with funding as well.
You know what's so funny? Let me tell you how God works out. So we here at the Ownership Club and the Financial Power Hour, we have 3 radio platforms that we own. We're on 106.3. We own here iHeartRadio, and as we also own My Radio Chicago, and we're probably next week we're going to be on Power 95.1 in the Rockford, Aurora. So when I tell you we could change lives on a whole nother level, because I could personally give you a segment on my show to educate businesses.
I would love that, because I find that sometimes if you just know some of the parameters, and you can go in a straight line as opposed to going off track, because it can be stressful. And being able to know exactly what banks are looking for is key. It makes you feel more confident when you're coming in the bank. It makes you feel more confident as a business owner, to make you feel like you are going down that right path, right? So everyone needs a team. So you want to just make sure that you have a banker that's on your team and that's aligned with your business goals.
Come on, let's give it up. Let's give it up. So again, we're going to take a quick little break. Thank you so much. You were, again, a wealth of knowledge. Some of us in business, the information that you gave, we know 90% of that, and that's why we can get the funding and do things like that. But the problem is a lot of us are afraid of the information, right? They think we can't do it, I can't do it, or no one is going to lend to me. I'm going to tell you, when you see that check for $75,000 or $125,000, it changes your mindset. So thank you so much. You are going to be a regular guest on the Ownership Club. So give it up again. So we're going to take a break. This is the Ownership Club, Intellectual Radio.
Yeah, you did good.
This was your first time. Couldn't have been the way you did.
Huh? No, y'all can stay. Gina. You're not about to leave, are you? Okay, stay right. You're not going nowhere, are you? It's too late. It's yeah, yeah. Hey,